And we are about ready to go at the Bob Martinez Center. Thanksgiving basketball set to get underway. It's the day after Thanksgiving. I know myself, I am just awoken from my food coma after having a brilliant feast. And now, DeCarlo, we get to enjoy some brilliant basketball between the Tampa Spartans and Puerto Rico Mayaguez, who will face off for the second time this week. They faced off on Monday, right at the start of Thanksgiving break, and the Spartans had a massive victory.
Yes, and what they have to do today, Taylor, and by the way, happy Black Friday to all the UT patrons, or U Tampa, that is. But the Spartans have to guard against complacency because they won, almost set the school record for most points scored, but they have to guard against complacency and thinking that they're just going to show up and win today. You have to do the same things that you – and Puerto Rico has the Mayaguez, they have the revenge factor.
They certainly do. After losing by 50, obviously the Spartans are going to be looking like extremely dominant favorites. But reminder, back in 2016, these teams were only 1 point away in their matchup, 68-67.
Right.
So when the Tarzanis are playing at an elite level, when they're able to make the three-point shots fly, they will be a team that's tough to deal with. The question will be if they have more luck from beyond the arc today. They'll pass over to the 9, playing to the basket. Out wide, it's stolen by Lane.
Now, one thing about Monday's game, Trey Lane, he didn't shoot as well as he would have liked to personally. However, he played a good basketball game all around. He had several assists, some steals, some rebounds. So, see, a lot of players think the only way to contribute is to score. I beg to differ. You still got to play the game, and the game within the game is having an all-around game, being able to fill the stat sheet and be a leader.
Tampa did an incredible job of that, and for most of their players who had better shooting luck than Lane, they had plenty of rebounds, assists, and steals. As now inside the paint, the Tarzanis get on the board with a Carlos Barea layup. But previously, while we were talking, Tampa got 2 steals and capitalized on 2 fast breaks. That continues the trend from that game where we had multiple Spartans getting multiple steals, including Lane, who had a couple in the game. Froby for 3, won't go. Rebound, picked up and knocked out of bounds, but Tampa once again showing that tenacity on defense to not give Tarzanis a lot of room. And, you know, if you're not able to get a lot of points from the field, you can try to give your team points by making those defensive stops. We saw Lane and Williams already do that.
Which is great. The more possessions you have, you usually come out on top in mainly any team sport.
Tarzanis will get a clean possession here. Good short passing to bring it down the floor, and Esteban Saavedra ties the game with a layup. Now out to Nimmers for 3, just offline. He's been one of the Spartans' top scorers and also had a solid matchup last time against Tarzanis. Almost gets his 4th point, but misses the layup. Leto gets 1 rebound. Can't get the second. It was last touched by the defender. Unfortunate for Lucena, who was fighting with Leto for the rebound. It stays with the Spartans.
Yeah, great hustle by both players.
This is the first of many Tampa games today. Women's basketball begins the Thanksgiving Classic, taking on Concord. We'll also see the University of Mary in action later this afternoon. Those games are at 5 and 7 p.m. as Tarzanis make the steal and get back in possession.
Yeah, they were just in a 2-3 zone, something that we didn't see early in the game on Monday. But you can see they've made some adjustments already in trying to make this game a much more competitive game.
Tampa running with a similar starting lineup from last time. Lane, Amarian, Williams, Froby, and Leto.
Tarzanis almost had a chance at a lead.
They almost did, but now Nimmers almost gets the layup, gets his own board. But there's a foul committed on him. That's unfortunate because...
No, it was a jump ball call.
I
thought it was a foul also.
It works the same way. His possession arrow was pointing towards Tarzanis. They'll get the ball back.
Right.
So
they have a chance to take an early lead.
They certainly do. We'll see how the Spartans' fast break defense, four-court press defense can do. And Tampa,
turnover.
Williams almost deflected that away, just put Saavedra in a position where he couldn't pick up the ball.
Yeah, with the man on the ball, That's an aggressive press because you have no protector. That means you don't want to see, it's pressure at all points on the court.
Tampa still hasn't been able to hit a three-point shot.
Thus far.
We've seen Kyler Lamb come into the game, the first change, and blocking foul on Williams, trying to force his man out of bounds. But you can see Tampa still playing aggressive on-ball defense, playing aggressive off-ball defense. And even though they haven't made the majority of their chances so far, they've prevented Puerto Rico Mayaguez from getting too many looks of their own.
And Big Cole Gingileski's in the game.
So 2 early changes. Gingileski couldn't get the board. The putback is made by Tarzanis. But Tampa with very quick pace move up the floor. Gingileski gets the miss and puts it in for the layup. We're tied at 6.
Yes, the Tarzanis had a brief lead at 6. 6-4, and Cole got his own miss. Tie the game at 6.
I think Tarzanis have dealt a little bit better with the Spartans' press and double teams so far. Tampa has been able to force a couple early turnovers. They'd like to force another. Going to the paint, drawing the foul. Good work by Nick Lucena, who stays down on the ground.
Yeah, I'll tell you this, that looks like a play from one of the football games yesterday. The way he hit the court. I hope he's okay.
Hopefully, definitely a hard landing on the hardwood floors. Obviously, you don't have the grass to help you out on football because it's still a hard ground to deal with, but it is a little bit softer as well. It's not going to necessarily be too
he's up on
aggressive.
His feet and walking gingerly, but I think he'll be all right. That's the beauty of youth.
Exactly. He also probably needed to catch his breath a little bit. That was my guess, too. As we enter a timeout, I believe a media timeout, let's take a look at some of the stats from that previous game, the 127-74 Spartans win. Tampa's leading scorer was Tyson Leto, 22 points, 17 rebounds. We had a chance to talk to him at the post-game interview. He mentioned how the team has really been able to get behind Link Darner's coaching identity and his aggressive defensive style. The team has been able to buy into his vision, and it's led to a great 5-1 start to the season for the Spartans.
Yeah, you said aggressive defense. Hey, they're aggressive offensively also. They keep the pressure on you on both sides of the ball.
I actually misspoke. 4-0 start to the season for the Spartans. Had them confused with our women's team that's playing later today. They've played the extra game and had an extra defeat. Also, we saw Lane, as you mentioned, leading the team in assists with 7. He came up with 1 steal, but Williams had 5 in his performance. 16 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists alongside his strong day on offense.
With this year's team, Williams, you know, he can do what he did last season, but he's more of a rover. He has a lot more help. This UT team, or Tampa team, is very deep at all positions.
Big three-pointer by Saavedra. Tarzanis back in front. The depth has definitely been Tampa's largest improvement this year as we see a fresh 5 group of players on the floor. Last year definitely was a team that was primarily led by Williams and Leto, but now you've got even more contributors on offense and defense that I think put a little less pressure on the Spartan Stars to perform. And whenever Tampa needs to go to their secondary unit off the bench, they're in a better position. 3 won't go again for the Spartans as the rebound is picked up by Tarzanis. That time Ryan Blunt, the freshman from Oviedo, just missed the opportunity. So now Tarzanis bring it back up the floor. Still a 9-6 lead for Puerto Rico Mayaguez early on. Schaefer on the ball. Now it's passed over to Saavedra. Cut to the paint. Nice layup by Barea. He's been active early on with multiple layups inside. As it's passed out to Blount. Back over to Harvey. Harvey mid-range. Still misses. Another rebound by Barea.
Yeah, that was a highly contested shot by Harvey also. Good deep.
And Puerto Rico Mayaguez looking strong early on. They'll miss the three that could have put them up by 6. Angel Gonzalez on the missed shot. And now Schaefer back over to Harvey. Gingileski for 3. And first three-pointer. The first three-pointer of the game comes from the 7-foot center.
I know, how ironic.
It certainly is. On a big point for the Spartans to tie the game. Sorry, not tie the game. They trail by 2. Saavedra got it from beyond the arc. Tarzanis heating up from deep. They lead by 5. Now Lamb in the paint. Draws the foul on the shot. Actually, I think it was a reach-in foul to give the Spartans a chance from under the hoop. No, it actually is on the shot. They just pointed under the hoop at first. Kyler Lamb with 2 free throws coming up. The freshman from Williston will get a chance as 4 new players head onto the floor. Actually, 5 new players head onto the floor.
That's where you're deep.
Yes.
5 at a time.
We saw that in the first half last time. Tampa bringing their 5 players back into the lineup. Lane, missed shot. Rebound picked up by Lane after getting tipped by 2 Spartans. Froby from the corner. Driving on Barea. Won't go. Rebound by Williams. Out to Lane. 3rd time's the charm. Yes, it is. Big three-pointer for Lane as he's on the board.
Nice to see Trey hit one of his first shots.
Foul on the play by Williams was a little too close to Barea that time. That's unfortunate for Williams and the Spartans, who would have had a steal. That was a pretty interesting play. By the way, if you're tuning in on Tampa Spartans TV, thank you for joining us. Unfortunately, we don't have our stats broadcast live at the moment, where you can always check the live stats in each game and see how your favorite players, whether it's on the Arzanis or Spartans, are doing. Hopefully that'll be up later on. One of the stats people are listening into the broadcast, they can hear it. 3-point shot, offline, rebound by Barea. He was in the right spot for the rebound, but not in the right spot for the pass. Williams with the steal and layup. We're tied at 14.
Yeah, this half-court trap by Tampa is very aggressive, causing turnovers, leading to easy points.
I think today it's left them sometimes a little vulnerable to quick passing from Tarzanis in the paint.
3-on-1.
Force turnovers like that 3-on-1, they will capitalize. It's the Iowa transfer, Amarian Nimmers, back on the board. He's already had a couple of points. Last time out, he also had 3 steals as part of that elite Spartans defensive unit. They almost force another steal, pass to the paint.
Nimmers on the ball again, kicks it ahead to Williams.
And went for the layup. I thought he was going to try to slam that with the dunk.
You and me both.
Played out to Barea, who's had a very good start. He won't get the shot. Good defense by Leto. Great contest again by Leto. Didn't get the board. Williams keeps it in play. This looks like the Showtime Lakers with how the Spartans are so aggressive on the fast break.
I mean, Williams is all over the place. Is there 2 or 3 of them out there?
It is
making
incredible.
a layup, getting a steal, saving the ball. He's all over the place.
That'll lead to, I believe, a media timeout. Tampa's jumped to a 4-point lead almost out of nowhere. That small breather for the starting 5, when they eventually all came back onto the floor, gave them the energy to make those quick plays. And Tarzanis, who felt like they might have had the Spartans' numbers, are now trailing by 4 after leading by as much as 5.
Yeah, what also gave them some energy, I think, is the coaching staff letting them know, like, hey guys, this isn't Monday. This is Black Friday. It's a new game, same opponent, mind you, but you're not going to just show up and win.
And that is the big thing. Tampa pretty much did show up and win last time with 60 first half points, but so far they've been held to just 18, and that's primarily been because of their lack of success from beyond the arc to start the game. But now we've seen Lane and Gingileski getting on the board early. And we'll see if Tampa has more success later on. Tarzanis, who are very cold in the first half, have had some big three-pointers. Saavedra's made a couple. Barea has been dominant inside the paint. So we'll be resuming now after the media timeout. 4-point Spartans lead. And I believe it'll be the Spartans actually at the line. 2 free throws coming up for Froby.
Yeah, Froby, I'll tell you this. I mean, they all hustle, but if there's a Mr. Hustle on the team, I'm going with Froby. No disrespect to anybody else, because Brian and Amari and Nimmers, the Honey Badger, as I nicknamed him, is, I mean, you got three guys that you can't take any plays off, offensively or defensively.
Both free throws made by
Trey
Froby.
Lane is right there with him.
I think what's great about the offense is Lane can really work as that point guard who's able to distribute and be a three-point threat. You've got Amarian and Brian as the two sort of elite interior and exterior finishers. And then you've got the hustle of Froby, who just delivers a great performance, almost as the power forward kind of in this lineup. Despite his smaller height, he plays with no fear, driving to the basket, being able to work outside, and then Leto, he's just the big man who can just convert inside and get a ton of boards. And now for three, he'll give you some big points from beyond the arc too. 23-16 Spartans.
It's kind of like, I mean, there are positions, but right now the Spartans are playing positionless, because if you want to go by positions, it's almost a four guard, one inside guy layup, 4 out, 1 in system that they're running, and I'll tell you this, it's working.
It certainly is. No look pass from Williams on the assist. Tampa leads by 10, and they have been on a massive run as of late. But a quick fast break for Tarzanis, getting past the press. What a contest by Leto. The only position in the starting lineup being Leto as the big man, and there are very few in the Sunshine State Conference who do it better than him. Timeout by Tarzanis after the Leto layup, and Tampa had a 18-14 lead from the previous timeout. They've made it 28-16, a 10-2 run. We'll be back with more action on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network.
This is the University of Tampa. Explore your dreams, discover your talents. Get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
Oh.
And we're back. Played inside. Tampa giving another full court press as we continue Thanksgiving Classic action at Tampa. Our men's and women's teams with multiple games as there's a three-point shot. No good. And rebound by Froby.
Big contest by Tyson Leto.
Out to Froby. Takes the shot. Drives inside to Williams. Just a little too far for him, but Froby steals it after the rebound and gets the layup. And that is the hustle of Froby on full display. And another Tarzanis turnover after a missed inbound pass to Lucena. Lucena got stripped after the rebound, and now another turnover from the 15, as Tampa can now go back by 2 times the score of Tarzanis. This was a team that was leading 14-9 at one point. It's now 30-16. Lane passes it over to Nimmers. Back over to Lane. To the paint. Froby won't go.
In and out.
Leto can't pick it up, but Amarian gets it. Back to Froby. Second time is the charm. Tampa heating up from beyond the arc. They lead by 17 with 9:37 to go.
Yeah, the three-point arc lid has been removed off the basket, Taylor.
And the elite passing early on from Tarzanis has started to slip away. And that might be fatigue for the starting unit who have been out there for a majority of the game. A couple of changes have been made. We get to see Jose Candelario on the floor. But Tampa's starting unit, they look as fresh as ever, as it looks like Tarzanis are running a 2-3 zone.
Yes,
that
they are.
Leaves Lane open, won't go. Rebound picked up by Barea, who's definitely been Tarzanis' strongest player so far. Leto driving, almost gets fouled. Put back, no good. Spartans bring it back down the floor, 3-on-3. Froby to the paint. Out to Blunt. Got it.
And Ryan Blount.
That'll lead to another timeout for Tarzanis. Blount finding a three-pointer after it felt like every other Spartans found one as well. Dominance from Tampa continues, 36-16 with 8:48 to go. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. Thanksgiving week basketball continues at the University of Tampa. Tampa's made some changes to bring on some fresh players from the bench, Kyler Lamb and DeAndre Harvey. As that's going to be a steal by Lane, and that is a frustration foul by Jose Torres, who knocked Lane over. But great hustle again by the Spartans defense, forcing another turnover. And now that we've got our live stats up, we can confirm Tampa has made, I believe now, 8 steals against Tarzanis, who have also had 8 turnovers in the game in total.
Yeah, but out of those 8 steals, it's probably generated about 10 points or more, maybe.
Actually, it is more. Tampa has, I think, 16 points now off of turnovers, which has definitely been the difference maker throughout the rest of the first half. It's actually a 16-0 Spartans run at the moment, and it'll continue.
Nice move. Nice move by Tyson Lato. Man, to see his development from his freshman year to now, it's almost night and day. This is a guy that didn't start on his high school team in Chicago and didn't play a whole lot. Now he looks primed to be able to extend his career, his basketball career that is past college, if he chooses to.
He certainly has the talent as Tampa keeps possession off the tipped play by Barrios. As that'll bring us to another timeout. Can't tell whether it was the Spartans or Tarzanis or media timeout, but either way, we haven't had a lot of action for a big amount of basketball in a row, so we'll be right back, 38-18 scoreline. And we're back at the Bob Martinez Center. Taylor Sorthy, DeCarlo DeVoe, Andre Pyatt running the show to bring you action here on Black Friday. The best day for shopping in the calendar year with so many sales, and I'm pretty sure that'll apply to any Spartans merch you want to get from our in-person and online stores. Now
Tarzanis come out with some full court trapping of their own.
Oh, to Gingileski.
Nice play.
Tampa breaks the press and finds the alley-oop from Blount to Gingileski.
Right into Cole.
And now Gingileski to start a new fast break, passes it over to Harvey. Harvey keeps it himself, but his pass gets tipped away by Candelaria.
His teammates have to talk to him and let him know that defender is in pursuit.
So a little bit of miscommunication through some fast-paced action. For three, Torres won't go. Took a couple of bounces before Lamb gets the board. And Lamb's pass finds BJ Schaefer. Blount for three, got it. Tampa leads 43-18, but you've seen a little bit of miscommunication on the line those last few plays. You saw Blount and Schaefer both think they were the recipient of the pass and almost run into each other. However, they were able to rebound to get the assist and eventual 3 points. Harvey, Blount again, missed. Schaefer almost got the board, was just out of his reach. It lands to Torres instead, who sends it over to Cesar Barrios.
Yeah, Blount always looks like super focused. He comes into the game almost like with a military type demeanor. You know, no nonsense and laser focus.
Blount's been 2 for 5 from beyond the arc. There have been 2 missing points from the stat sheet for us. Our live stats say it's 39-18, but it's 43-18. Still 2 dominant Tampa leads, no matter how you look at it, either by 25 or 21 points. As that's going to be poked out of bounds by Schaefer, but because it went off him, it'll stay with Puerto Rico Mayaguez, as Tampa's been on a 27-2 run over the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, Schaefer out of Georgia, he's a fine-looking freshman. You know, he's slim, streamlined, athletic, and aggressive defensively. He picked up a foul right there. I don't, you know, that was kind of unfair because he was kind of bumped into him from the pick. But nevertheless, he's relentless. Huge competitor. The future will be bright for you, Tampa Spartans basketball.
Deep three, Torres got it. And Tarzanis back on the board from beyond the arc. Interesting on the previous play for that foul on Schaefer, because usually you see the foul on the person setting the pick, but Schaefer, I think, a little too physical trying to work his way around the screen. Harvey not able to get open room. Good defense as it's back out to Blount, to Gingileski in the paint. Out to the corner, Schaefer contested 3, won't go. Gets his board, fouled on the shot. He'll get 2 chances at the line.
That goes back to the old saying, follow your shot. When you shoot it, you're one of the first people to know where it's going to rebound based on how you release your shot.
So now Schaefer gets 2 chances at the line. He's already recorded an assist and rebound, and I'm sure he was able to help sort of combine with his teammates to earn 1 or 2 of the turnovers and steals, as he'll miss the first free throw with 1 player back onto the floor, Nick Lucena. He replaces Cesar Barrios.
Now, I'll say this in observation. It's about 5:54 left in the first half. Spartans have 43 points. Do you think they're on pace to equal or top their point production from Monday at 65 in the first half?
That's a really good question.
They're about 19 points away right now.
If they can get a couple of quick points, I think yes. Otherwise, I think they might stay around 55 to 57. Almost a steal made by Blount, but it's barely tipped away and kept by Tarzanis. With Harvey playing excellent on-ball defense. His man drives past him out to the corner. Thought about the shot. Cuts inside. Blocked by Blount. Kicked out to the left-hand side. Almost stripped by Gingileski. Good shot fake, but he can't convert with an open look.
He tossed it up there. You got to use your fingers. Your fingers are your guide for the basketball, whether shooting or passing.
Schaefer drives to the paint. And he was fouled on the play by Tarzanis, so Tampa can have it under the rim for an inbound. I think the next foul by Tarzanis would put Tampa in the bonus. Gingileski cutting to the basket, but they'll play it out wide to Blount. Will Gingileski try to back down his man? It's kicked out to Schaefer. Up top to Harvey. Was thinking about a deep 3. Nice crossover. Kicks it to Blount. Missed. Almost rebounded by Schaefer. Very nice leap to try to get the board, but just mistimed his jump. As Tarzanis can't find a 3 under 5 minutes remaining in the half.
UPR Mayaguez, we're just in a 2-3 zone. You got a good shot from Blount in the corner, but it just didn't fall.
3 is offline, picked up by Lamb. He was there to try to contest the Lucena 3. Harvey offline again. I know Harvey's tried a couple of 3-pointers, has had a couple struggles. Good defense to force the bad shot. Gingileski couldn't win the rebound, but it's out off the Tarzanis player.
I'll tell you this, the Tarzanas, they're trying to play at UT's pace. It's a gift and if you score, but it's a curse when you miss the layups and play at this pace like that because they're not as deep as the Spartans.
You can definitely tell when their starters are off the floor. But Tampa, they bring a similar intensity even when they're down to their third string players.
Basically, you have two starting fives with UT, you know. Starting 5A and starting 5B. I mean, that's why the practices are so much more competitive. You know, I've been to several practices in the preseason, and it's, you know, nothing is given. Nothing is given. The guys they get after each other. So what do you think they're going to do to the opponents?
Exactly. They're going to bring that same intensity, but now they've got that mindset to do it as a team. So we've got ourselves a media timeout. We've got 3:46 still to play. DeCarlo, you've made your prediction that Tampa's going to try to match that 65-point total. Thanks to a couple of misses, it's looking difficult. But we know how quickly Tampa can get on those big runs. We'll be right back on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network.
This is the University of Tampa. Explore your dreams. Discover your talents. Get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
Inbound coming up as we resume play here at the Bob Martinez Center. The second matchup of the week between the Spartans and Puerto Rico Mayaguez Tarzanis. They won't get the point off the layup. Tampa bringing it back down the floor.
He didn't get the block, but Cole Gingileski changing the shot and making it super difficult with his 7-foot frame.
Excellent layup and put back by Lamb off the rebound. 48-21 Spartans. But indeed, Gingileski and the rest of the Spartans defense doing a great job of shutting down the paint. And they'll force a bad pass. Blount on the steal, 4-on-2 fast break. Lamb, layup is good, even though it was a little bit awkward. I don't think either of the Spartan players knew who was going to get the ball. Not a good thing when you're the recipient of a pass headed straight towards you, but Lamb with a quick recovery, and he gets on the board again with at least 4 points in the game.
Some nifty ball handling by the UPR player, Nick Lucena.
Travel on the play by Tarzanis, and that'll bring the ball back to the Spartans as the starting five are back on the floor. In the second half, we usually see this team utilize their starters and second team players on longer rotations, but in the first half, they've had more frequent substitutions, allowing them to be more aggressive when on the floor, and expect that aggression with a few minutes remaining. Nimmers to Lane. Won't go. Leto with the rebound. Froby loses it in the paint, looking for some help, finds Lane. Lane bringing it inside, just missed the layup. Froby on the rebound and gets the layup.
And as you talk about depth, the Spartans have 9 players that have contributed to the scoring thus far. Froby leading the way right now with 9 points on 3 of 5 shooting from the field.
Excellent double team. They barely find the pass. They kick it out to the number one, and it's good. David Maldonado with a 3-point shot. But again, this team contributing on offense and defense back and forth. Whenever someone makes a point, they're usually right there on the next play, making a defensive stop, and a blocking foul on the number on Angel Zayas. And that will bring Tampa another possession. And Actually, I believe that in the bonus they're going to get a 1-and-1.
Yeah, Brian Williams is at the line. Let's go, knock him down, B. Will.
Williams only 4 points from our stats tracker. He may have 1 or 2 more as part of the 4 points that aren't currently being scored.
And these are his first 2 attempts.
He'll miss the first one, and the rebound's picked up by Tarzanis off the 1-and-1. But you definitely expect Williams to get on the board more often, especially in the second half too. Always a leading scorer for the Spartans. But when Tampa's doing this good with Williams only having 4 points, that's a really good sign.
Right.
To the basket, Froby with a good contest, but an even better layup by Nick Lucena. Now Lane gets past the press all the way up the floor. 2 of the Spartans teammates weren't there. Lane for 3, won't go. Rebound picked up by Torres. Excellent box out. Tarzanis trying to bring it down quickly, but they've just stumbled into a double team. Nimmers on the steal. He stepped out of bounds, and that's going to stay with Tarzanis. He made a nice steal, or a spin move after getting the steal, but during that spin, one of his feet landed out of bounds because there wasn't a foul on the play.
Yeah, I mean, just unfortunate, but a great defensive play, but he was just very close to the sideline.
He's already got 3 steals in the game, and Lane almost picked up another steal too, out to the corner. Good job to prevent the shot by closing out on his man quickly. Lane gets driven by, kicked out. Great contest by Williams, but Maldonado's heating up another 3-point shot. It's 52-29 with under a minute remaining.
Yeah, that's the second straight 3.
Leto gets a 3 of his own. He's 2 for 2 from beyond the arc.
Deja vu, same place, same spot, same result.
Leto hasn't been a super aggressive 3-point shooter, but we already know how dominant he's inside the paint. Now they also have to worry about him when he's setting up beyond the arc. And that was something new because Leto didn't take any threes in the 127-point performance Tampa had last time against Tarzanis.
Yeah, he didn't have to, which is great. You know, that means he's playing within himself. He's not doing it, just to do it. He's doing it because he's capable of.
Great short passing by Tarzanis. They had a man mismatch in the paint.
What's great about Leto being able to shoot the outside shots is that after the first game, the Tarzanis, they're going to work harder to keep him out of the paint, doubling him and making it more aggressive on his catches. So now the fact that he's able to set up beyond the line and knock down a few shots, now it helps, it keeps them more honest. Because they're saying, okay, leave him out there, let him shoot those, don't let him in the paint. He ate us up last time. Well, he's eating them up from 3-point range also.
Yeah. And Tampa as a whole have been forced to work more from beyond the arc, but they're hitting 38% of their threes so far. They're 8 for 21. So even though Tarzanis is trying to be more aggressive defending the interior, it hasn't always been working. Excellent foul draw there, although I think it's going to be called a blocking foul on Williams. Both him and Lucena go down on the play.
Yeah, that was a hard hit. Both gentlemen feeling it. I think B. Will got the worst of the exchange.
Certainly did, putting his body on the line on that play, but
looks like he got hit in the nose.
Always not a great place to get hit.
Oh, never.
1-and-1 now for Lucena. There's 2 seconds left, so if he misses one of the free throws, Tampa's just going to have to try a half-court shot. And also you see Williams talking to the referee, asking about what he needed to do differently to prevent that from being a blocking foul, because he was hoping to draw the charge on the play. So Lucena's first free throw, a miss, would likely send us to halftime. It's up, no good. Williams from deep.
Oh!
A buzzer beater by Brandon Williams.
Magical shot by B. Will. He's just that type of person. He has that type of aura, and the Spartans are happy to have him.
In terms of the game's significance, that probably is as valuable as the Chris Paul 3 to cut the lead to 45, but that's still impressive. You love it when there's a buzzer beater like that.
Wow.
58-31. Brandon Williams puts Tampa 2 points away from a 60-point first half. We'll be back in 15 minutes with the second half of play from the Bob Martinez Center. Wow.
This is the University of Tampa. Explore your dreams. Discover your talents. Get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
Back for the second half. Brian Williams with arguably play of the season to close out the first half for the buzzer beater.
Yeah,
It
that
only
needs to be sent to Sports Center or something. I mean, it wasn't a game winner, but I mean, that was from beyond half court. That was very Steph Curry-esque.
I tell you, that's definitely going to be top of my list for the top 10 plays of today across the world of sports. As Lane brings it up the floor, Tampa returns to their starting five for the new 20-minute half. Tyson Leto on the board to start the period as Tampa hits 60
right
points.
Where he left off. I'll tell you this, the Spartans, they were 7 points off their margin, their halftime margin from Monday night. They had 65 in the first half. On Monday, 58. But a quick 4 points, and they're up to 62 points.
They're very quickly trying to close the distance to that previous performance. The steal by Lane, an easy layup on the other end. Tampa has yet another, their 13th steal of the game.
But it's nice to see Trey Lane get something easy. So psychologically, it helps him when he's shooting beyond the arc or from the mid-range positions on the jump shot. You know, like as a scorer, you know, just seeing the ball, making the ball go through the net, whether it's a layup, a free throw, something simple and easy. Now you can not relax, but you feel better about yourself, if that makes sense.
Lane's been a little bit better from beyond the arc today. He's 2 for 6 from three-point land. And that layup gave him his first non-three-pointer points as the layup's missed and picked up by Nimmers. Was thinking about Williams in the fast break, thinks better of it. Lane out to Froby. Got it! Tampa 3 for 3 from the field to start the half, 65-31. Should mention with Williams getting the foul in the previous play, he's now in a bit of foul trouble. He's got 4 in the game, 1 more, and I think he'd be done for the rest of the day. So he has to be careful. But either way, Tampa's got enough depth that even if they're missing Williams, I don't think it would be that big of a loss for the unit, as Tarzanis still trail by a pretty considerable margin. Saavedra cutting to the paint, poked by Froby. He gets back on top of it, but can't hit the layup. Leto to Lane to Williams. Williams going for the ball, can't get it. Picked up by Froby as that was a bad pass. Mid-range, offline by Leto. Froby keeps it in play. Williams for 3, got it.
Froby's the Mr. Hustle. He's Mr. Hustle. I know I call him Mini Manu Ginobili, but he's Mr. Hustle. I'll tell you this, Froby, normally a slasher, aggressive to the basket. Today he's showing you that perimeter game more so.
Big three-pointer in response by Lucena, despite the great contest by Lane. And miscommunication, Froby thought that Lane was running up the court. Lane actually cut and ran back to him. So that's a costly turnover. Tampa still leads by 34. But
you're a little miscue. It's like, you know, receiver to quarterback to the receiver. I thought you were cutting in and you cut out.
Tampa's 5th turnover of the day, something they haven't conceded too many of. Froby now on-ball defense. What a contest by Froby, even though there was a slight size disadvantage against the 77. Amarian for 3. Almost goes. Froby with the rebound, blocked. The second chance made it, almost and 1 for Amarian. But Tampa just settled for the 2 points as they're at 70. And they've got 4 players working a full court press. Pass is almost intercepted. Williams gets the second touch. Tarzanis, we're hoping for the foul, won't get it. Froby from the corner. Almost made it. Leto gets the board. Will keep it himself. He gets stripped, but it's back out to Lane. Lane cutting inside. This time he draws the foul, and Tampa gets it under the hoop for an inbound play.
And despite having 4 fouls, Brian Williams not shying away defensively. Still out there with hard-nosed defense.
This Tampa current starting unit has a ton of steals. 12 out of their current 5-man rotation. Excellent spin after the steal by Gonzalez. I was wondering if he was going to try to pull up for 3 from Curry range, but decided not to. Finds Lucena. Back to Saavedra. Saavedra has been one of the stronger guards for the Tarzanis side, as they're not giving the number 4 a lot of room. Saavedra gets the ball as it's tipped. That prevented him from getting an open three-point shot. His pass barely picked up by Barea. Deep post shot missed.
And they're off and running.
Nimmers to the paint. Layup, it is in. That looked like the bounce was going to miss, but he's on the board with his 8th point of the game. Every one of the Tampa starters has at least 8 points now, as Tampa's at 72.
They have 3 players in double figures thus far. Tyson Lato leading with 14. He leads all scores. Caden Froby with 12. And Brian Williams with 10 points, respectively.
So that'll bring us a Tarzanis timeout with 15:59 to go in the game. You know, it's going to be hard for Tampa to try to get another scoring record like they did with their matchup last time, but 72 points through the first 25 minutes is not bad at all. We'll be right back. And we're back on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. Schaefer and a secondary 5 on the floor for the Spartans. Harvey, Blount, Lamb, Gingileski joining. Tampa with a big lead. Harvey, not a lot of room for the shot. Instead, Blount's gonna now drive. Kicks it back to Harvey. Looking for some space. Out to Schaefer. Almost. Blount almost gets the board, as that's going to be intercepted by Schaefer, who is instantly down the floor. Blount almost makes the 3 in response. Harvey inside the paint gets absolutely rejected by Carlos Barea, though.
What he did, he was up, and he could have just shot it over the opponent, but he brought it down, anticipating contact. Contact wasn't there. What was there was a defensive stop.
That time, Barea couldn't make the stop. He actually gives an angry clap to himself after the play as well. He's had a solid day for Tarzanis, but that time a slightly better finish from the Spartans and by Lamb. Now Tarzanis looking for a chance. Out to the corner. Offline. Hard fight for the rebound, picked up by Schaefer, who's now one-on-one on the break. Great layup by Schaefer on the fast break. 8-0 Spartans run. So far, Tarzanis are on a 3-minute scoring drought with 4 turnovers in that time frame. In the game, they've had 19. And Tampa, even though they've had a couple of fouls, they've only given up 1 foul that's led to free throws. As Lamb knocks that out of play, nice deflected pass, stays with Puerto Rico Mayaguez. So, DeCarlo, the one weakness Tampa had last time, which was conceding over 20 foul shots, they've completely reversed that weakness today.
But what's crazy about that, Taylor, is the fact that you would think that they were less aggressive by not giving up the free throws. But they're just as aggressive, or even more so.
It definitely helps that Tampa only got into the bonus in terms of foul trouble late in the first half, as that three-pointer bounces off Gingileski and is picked up by Jose Torres. But no, Tampa's been just as aggressive on defense, and they've been a little cleaner too in terms of avoiding fouls, but still forcing, I think, even more turnovers. 16 steals in the game. Now for 3, got it. Just enough room for Barrios to get over the contest from Harvey, and Schaefer will bring it down the floor.
Quickly down the floor.
Over to Harvey. Cuts to the basket. Kicks it out to Schaefer. Contested, no. That shot just barely missed. Blount on the board. Puts it up. Won't go. Gingileski trying to tip it in. Schaefer gets the board. Gingileski almost fouled on the shot. And that time there was a foul on the play by Tarzanis, but it took until I think 2 other shots afterwards.
I tell you this, if you're going to be an opponent against this Tampa Spartans team, you better be ready to run. You better be in great shape. But more importantly, what's evident is that if you're going to play for this Tampa Spartans team, you better be in exceptional shape, or else you're going to be sitting on the bench a long time. You have to have your shoes on. Everybody's in shape. They have rotations. It seems like everybody on the bench, possibly including the coaches, are ready to go 40-plus minutes.
I think you definitely call this team the Fitness Gram Pacer test for just how much we are running up and down the floor. It really shows that physicality and stamina, buying into Coach Darner's mindset. And it's a system that has been working to its peak potential in this game right here. But for all 4 of the games so far, it has been super strong. As jump ball is called, it'll stay with the Spartans, I believe, because they had the arrow going the right direction.
And look at that hustle by B.J. Schaefer, the freshman diving on the ground. You would think that it was a one-point game. Spartans up 40, and here it is. He's sacrificing his body to get the ball back for the Spartans. Give them an extra possession.
He would have if the arrow was actually headed the right way for us. I was wrong. It was Tarzanis who had the arrow. So as the possession switches, they'll bring it back down the floor. But again, that's the type of hustle you love if you're Coach Darner and this coaching staff, and of course, if you're a Spartan fan, as that's going to be tipped away by Gingileski off the backboard. Nice no-look pass by Barrios. The assist cuts the deficit under 40 as Tampa brings it to the paint for Lamb. Kicked out wide to Harvey. Harvey to the corner. Lamb thinking better of the shot. Up top for Blount. Got it.
Clean. Nothing but nylon for Blount.
Big shot that time as they bring it back down the floor. Up top for Tarzanis.
And getting ready to check in for the Spartans, you have Ian Higdon.
Big mid-range look by
Zach
Barrios.
Johnson coming into the game. Ian Higdon from Kentucky, Prospect, Kentucky. And Zach Johnson, he's local. Went to HEC in Steinbrenner High School. It's nice to see. I mean, we're Tampa. Why not have a local player?
Exactly. We'll be right back with the local product entering the game after this timeout.
This is the University of Tampa. Explore your dreams. Discover your talents. Get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
Welcome back to our house at the Bob Martinez Center. Spartans lead 80-41. The Spartans with a couple of scoring troubles over the last 2 minutes. Hence, they call the timeout with 11:40 to go in the game. 2 players onto the floor for the first time today. That's the number 5 of Ian Higdon and the 23 of Zach Johnson. as you mentioned, DeCarlo, Johnson is a Tampa product. As there's a nice layup by B.J. Schaefer. Johnson's a senior previously at Hillsborough Community College. But it's good to have a few players from the local area on this team. That also includes freshman Jordan Lanier and our 7-footer, Cole Gingileski.
Tell you this, there's a nice balance with righties and lefties. You know, it gives a lot of diversity, both offensively and defensively.
So a rare Spartans turnover as that was knocked out of play by the Spartans. A few changes going to be made. But first, I believe we have a media timeout coming up with a 41-point Spartans lead. And we'll be right back again. So we're ready to resume. Tarzanis and Spartans engaged in another matchup this week. And Tampa's once again leading. Slightly lower points margin, but an even better defensive margin. Only conceding 41 points in total through 30 minutes of play. Now onto the floor for the Spartans. It's Isaiah Young for the first time today, and Jackson Toney.
And also Big Grady Schwartz, the freshman out of Jacksonville, Florida.
Stolen, eventually picked up by Higdon. And now Young will bring it up the other way. Tampa now giving a true chance to some of the third string players on this unit. Toney for three, just missed. You know, Toney isn't afraid to shoot the ball, but continues that cold streak from Monday where he missed a couple of big mid-range shots late in the game. But I will say for Toney, it's important to keep the confidence to be able to keep shooting the ball,
right,
and knowing that eventually something's going to find the rim.
Right. Sometimes it's nice when you come in the game. I know he's pretty wide open, but sometimes get something a little closer to the basket. You know, get fouled, get a free throw, get yourself going.
Wonder if he'll look for something here to do that. Young back out wide to Johnson. Good screen by Higdon, rolling to the basket. They'll kick it back out to Toney. Not a lot of time left on the shot clock. Toney keeps it himself. Excellent pass to Higdon. He gets smothered and fouled, and he'll take 2 shots at the line.
Yeah, Higdon goes hard, man. He's almost like a tight end type, you know, player. He just runs, blocks, rebounds. Tough young man.
Nice pass by Toney on the play to find Higdon in the paint. They were able to get sort of a 2-on-1 matchup, and it forced a foul from Cesar Barrios. First free throw offline from Higdon.
Yeah, we want to see him reward himself, you know. Make the second one, big fella.
Talking about the Tarzans for a second. Torres and Maldonado, the leading scorers on the floor at the moment. We also have Torres doing well in terms of scoring. They have 8 points in the game across the 3 players. It's a solid day so far for Barrios as he brings it up. He's only had 5 points so far. It's felt like he's been on the scoring end more often. Back to Barrios for 3. Won't go. That was an optimistic effort from Steph Curry range, arguably. Toney bringing it down the floor. He's matched up against Barreo, who has been a defensive force today. Out to Schwartz. Excellent pass to the corner. Young's got the 3-pointer. Big shot by the senior.
Yeah, moving like a well-oiled machine. And the pass came with no hesitation.
Yeah, I really love that pass from Grady Schwartz, the freshman big man. Just a clean ball over to Young. As the double team coverage not giving Barrios a lot of room to work. Foul in the shot. Unfortunate for Schwartz, who poked it away. I think he's going to get called in the foul. 86-44, 2 chances at the line for Barea.
Whenever you come down like that, even if sometimes you hit the ball, it just looks like a foul. Refs are more inclined to call that.
This will be the second and third free throws of the game for Tarzanis. They missed their first one in the first half. And kind of impressive to think about it, Tampa only giving up 1 free throw in the entirety of 20 minutes.
It's very deceptive, as you say that, because it gives one the impression that they're slacked off on defense. But they're playing great defense without committing fouls.
And this is where I bring up the other statistic. They have forced 21 turnovers and have 18 steals, their season high in terms of steals, alongside very few fouls. That's just how efficient the Spartans have been. They did also avoid getting into the bonus, which probably played a huge role in less foul shots. Johnson, nice layup, converting in the paint. And the bench absolutely loving that. At the post-game interview back on Monday, Tyson said, you know, the team loves it when the other players are able to hit the floor and get to work. And, you know, you see them loving with great reactions on every single make and every single big play this third-string unit does. Young for 3, got it. He's heating up as Tampa hits 91 points, 8 minutes to go.
The thing with Zach Johnson, we're used to seeing him shoot the free throws, but that was a nice lefty layup that he made for his first basket. Good defense by Zach.
Good contest by Tony. Rebound by Higdon. The Tampa Spartans defense again forcing tough shots from Tarzanis. Johnson for 3, got it again!
That's what we've become accustomed to see from Zach Johnson, that three-point range.
Tampa's 4 for 4 with an 8-0 run over their last 4 attempts. 3 3-pointers, 1 2-point make. The run won't end with a missed layup by Barrios. Big rebound by Higdon. Here comes Tony. Tony crossover. Kicks it out. Johnson got it again. Tampa on fire with 7:40 to go. Well, actually not 7:40, 7 minutes to go. They've scored over 10 points in the last minute. For 3, and that's an important response for Tarzanis. Ends the 11-0 run and ends the field goal drought that had lasted 3 minutes. Kick to the paint, Schwartz. Layup won't go. That's the first miss for the Spartans in the last 2 minutes. Tony blocking foul on the play. Inbound coming up for Tarzanis. But that'll lead to a media timeout as Tampa will get a chance to talk things over after going on a massive run. They're 2 points away from a 50-point lead. We'll be right back.
I was going to elect him for like
And we're back on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. The first game of the weekend for the Spartans. Tomorrow they'll be taking on Minnesota Crookston. That game's at 6:30 p.m. and will close out Thanksgiving action at home. Afterwards, on December 3rd, on Tuesday, Tampa will be opening up conference play with the Stand as One game against our rivals, Florida Southern. And you know, DeCarlo, a Florida Southern game, always must-watch basketball and must-watch action in any Sunshine State Conference sport.
Right, because there's always going to be something extra with the Florida Southern. They've been a long-time rival of ours, but to add luster to the rivalry is that Coach Link Darner, as he entered the Sunshine State Conference, he started with the Florida Southern Rockets, where he became the first coach to win a national championship in this conference until Nova did it 2 seasons ago. So there's a backstory within the rivalry.
A little extra spice for the rivalry game as that shot's missed and picked up by Schwartz. One thing I've noticed from Schwartz, he's got such an impressive vertical, and there's just no slowing down Isaiah Young or Zach Johnson, who had a big assist and three-pointer back-to-back on consecutive plays. But, you know, this third-string unit looking so strong, and for Schwartz, has also been good. Now a steal by Johnson. Some of these players are underclassmen. That just spells incredible prophecies for the future of Spartans basketball as Tony gets the rebound, keeping it in play. Johnson doesn't go for the shot. Young for three, won't go. Schwartz deflecting it away, can't come up with a rebound, but, you know, I think Schwartz, he's only 6'8", but he's playing like he's 7 feet.
Yeah, no, Schwartz is a great athlete. He gets off the ground.
I think when Leto graduates,
very active,
Schwartz can definitely fill in that role from day one. And say if there was like an injury or something that prompted a change, I don't think Schwartz would look too out of depth in terms of the starting lineup with how I've been seeing him play over these last 2 games.
I just haven't seen as much of a post game from him. They're a bit different. I mean, no, he makes shots in the post, but at this juncture, you know, Tyson is a bit more seasoned, and there's nothing wrong with that.
So B.J. Schaefer is going to get a few more minutes. He's into the game. The bench giving an ovation to Isaiah Young as he returns to take a well-earned breather after a dominant display on the floor.
And it's truly great to see these guys get the minutes that they're getting. Oh, nice finish.
Schaefer making the most of his 2 minutes, getting a dunk on the fast break. Tampa leads 104-52.
Because these are the guys that help prepare the first team in practice. They're working hard. They're doing everything to the best of their ability. So for them to get rewarded with playing time, it just makes the team harmony a lot better.
And Tony on the board. He definitely needs that for a confidence boost. Made a great defensive stop and converted on the other end. But of course, I mean, and for the starters, you know, they get to play with those guys, especially the younger classmen. It's just going to be fun to see them getting chances on the floor. That three-pointer won't go, out of bounds for the Spartans. Media timeout. By the way, Tampa 17 for 42 from beyond the arc. They have been letting it fly from deep.
That's pretty close to 50%.
They have been efficient. Johnson, of course, a notable player at the moment. 3 for 5 from deep. He has missed 2 shots, but when the ball has been headed his way, he usually puts it in the basket. This unit has been great today, so have the entirety of the Spartans roster. Farzanis have started applying their scoring touch a little more. They're now hitting 43% from beyond the arc today. But again, 23 turnovers, and they're now falling behind more in the rebounding game, have really been the difference makers so far in this matchup. We're continuing, about to break away from the media timeout. Later today, there are multiple games that are going to be played here at the University of Tampa. At 7 p.m., you can see the women's team taking on Concord. But at 5 p.m. today, we have the first game of the Tampa Thanksgiving Classic. And it's going to feature the U-Mary Marauders and St. Leo University.
That should be a good game.
It certainly should. Tampa's going to start with possession out of the timeout. Now back onto the floor after taking a breather for a minute is the number 2, Isaiah Young. The senior previously at Benedictine. has had a strong performance so far. Tony looking for a pass, keeps it himself. He's knocked away though by Zayas, who gets a nice steal, and Saavedra brings it up the floor. Young has 3 assists and 6 points. Notably, his points have come from beyond the arc.
Trap, trap, trap.
Tampa playing a nice little trap defense, trying just to force the bad pass and not give Saavedra a lot of room to look for a teammate. Now for 3, won't take it.
And this is a huge lineup. You got Blount, Jackson, Tony,
Rios, a big
Grady
free-throw
Schwartz,
shot.
the big Higdon, and Cole. That's 4 people over 6'5", easily.
That's a reverse of the normal Spartans lineup as Tony's 3 is offline, but the rebound's picked up by Schwartz. Young for 3, won't go. Picked up on the board by Higdon. Schwartz cutting inside. Almost got stripped, almost got fouled. Gingileski back out to Schwartz. Schwartz, excellent layup.
Tough move, nice move.
And he'll get the and 1 as it's called a blocking foul.
Yeah, he's very mobile. I've watched him in the warm-up, seen him in some of the practices. He's a good athlete. Great athlete.
So a big point there for the Spartans, and this is their 3rd 100-point game of the season. They faced Benedict earlier this year in South Carolina, where Williams had 26 points in the winning effort. And of course, their other matchup against Puerto Rico, Mayaguez, saw them hit 127. Tampa would need a very quick scoring run to reach that tally again. But Tampa running a 1-3-1 zone for now.
Yeah, this is tough. I mean, trying out new things, and not so much new, but things you haven't done yet for the season. Seeing how it looks, seeing how it works, testing out strategy.
Good short passing, and despite the contest by Higdon, Tarzanis makes it. Tony for 3, won't go. Schwartz with the rebound. I think the benefit of using a taller lineup, we have a little more margin for error if there's a missed shot. Schwartz out to Gingileski, back to Schwartz. Tipped, still picked up by Young. They've got 8 seconds on the shot clock. Alley-oop! Oh, he almost had an impressive jam, but it just misses as it's sent a little too far out of bounds. 1:41 to go, and Tarzanis will bring it back up the floor.
And right now, just at this juncture, the Spartans have 22 offensive rebounds to just 2 for the Tarzanis of UPR Mayaguez.
Short passing, trying to open the play for Tarzanis. Maldonado passes it over. Saavedra offline. Schwartz on the rebound. Big tip, almost stolen from Schwartz, but he gets the ball back. Young to Schwartz, back to Young. Gingileski for 3. Won't go. Rebound picked up by Tarzanis, a minute to go. It'll be 2 dominant victories in a row for the Spartans, and they'll be back at it again tomorrow. Another 3 will be made by Angel Zayas. Tampa maybe with a quick idea here. Tony driving inside, kicks it out. Up top, that pass deflection was important to stop the 3-pointer. Tony won't go. And now a fast break, 2-on-1 for Young. But 2 Spartan defenders make it back in time. 23 actually on the shot clock, 26 on the game clock. Out of bounds, that's a turnover for Tarzanis, and Tampa can now let the rest of the time run down to secure the W.
Yeah, this has been a tough 2 games this week. I don't know who else the Tarzanis have played on their trip to Tampa, but it's been a tough 2 games.
And as Young makes it across half court, that'll do it. We do want to give a thank you to Puerto Rico Mayaguez for making the trip to Tampa the first time they've been here. First time we faced them since 2016. It was 2 big Spartan victories, but a hard-fought game by both teams. Considerably less fouls this time around than last time. but the defensive intensity was still on full display for the
Well,
Spartans.
I'm going to go get who we would elect as our man of the match, Caden Froby, a.k.a. Mr. Hustle.
So as DeCarlo goes and gets our post-game interview set up, I'd like to mention some of the best performers on the Spartans today. Ryan Blount had 12 points. He went 3 for 8 from beyond the arc. He had the most three-pointers made of any Spartan, but Tampa as a whole shot 17 of 14 from deep, or 47 from deep. We saw a big performance from Tyson Laytow, 14 points, 8 boards, 5 of them offensive rebounds. Also allowed him to get a few putbacks. The combo of Amarian Nimmers and Brian Williams were on fire again. A combined 18 points. They also had 6 steals combined, but there was another solid performance from the 21, the graduate from Lincoln, Illinois, Caden Froby. And Caden, thank you for joining us for the post-game interview. And congratulations on another big Spartan win. Team now 5-0 on the season. Just how's the mood in the locker room for the team to not only just have a big start with some road games, but here at home with 2 monumental victories, one almost a record-breaking victory, and one just another comfortable W.
Yeah, the vibes are high. Obviously, we have a lot of new guys coming in from last year. We got a lot of freshmen, a couple of transfers, and I think we're all gelling very well in the locker room. We've got some team bonding activities where coaches gotten us together. We're getting to know each other on a few levels outside of basketball. So I think it's been a great start to the year, and the vibes are high in the locker room right now.
You definitely tell, and I think the team bonding activities must be working with how the team is be able to work on the court with great assists, but also great hustle all around. DeCarlo has affectionately nicknamed you Mr. Hustle. Just how has Coach Darner's sort of philosophy and hustle motivated your team to be able to be that aggressive on defense, on the glass, and just playing as an electric unit day in and day out?
Yeah, so if you were ever to sit into one of our practices, you see Coach Darner. We play live every single day, and we're picking up every single day, 94 feet. He's on Trey Lane every single day that he needs to be the best defensive guard in the conference. So with Trey Lane up there getting deflections, being really active, it just sets the mood for everybody on the court. So seeing him work hard just gets the mood going, and everybody's going to work hard off of him. So it's been exciting so far, and I love the system. When I entered the portal, I was looking for a system with like Coach Darner's, and I found it, and I'm very pleased that I came down here to Tampa.
I mean, we're happy to have you as well. You've been a huge impact player, so has pretty much everyone from that starting five of Lame, Nimmers, Williams, and of course, Tyson Laytow. Another incredible performance for the Spartans. And last time out, Laytow mentioned that he loves to see when the bench is able to get on the floor, the second and third string players going out there and delivering good performances. Is there anyone off the bench that you're always excited to see when they hit the floor?
Zach Johnson. I mean, that dude's in here, the first in the gym every single day. He's the hardest working kid on the team. I see he's been in college for I don't know, 6-7 years, and he just loves basketball, and he's in the gym nonstop. I love seeing him hit threes tonight. I love seeing him on the floor. He works his ass off. Works very hard every single day. So.
You could tell on the floor. I mean, Johnson, he had an incredible performance in the second half, finding a lot of open threes, and it ultimately led to a huge Tampa victory. You'll be back to work tomorrow, and thanks again for joining me, and congratulations on the performance, Caden.
Thank you. My bad.
You're all good. I think everyone's tuned out at this stage. 109-60, final score here on Tampa Spartans TV. We'll see you next time. I'm Taylor Storley for DeCarlo DeVoe and Andre Pyatt. See you at 5 p.m. for more Tampa